education in America?
Curriculum's too limited. If you want to succeed in education, you have a curriculum that touches the talent of every child. A good thing that has happened is we've put this new focus on math and science, and that's wonderful because kids need that. They need to be really challenged in it. But you know why 6,000 kids drop out of school every day in this country? Think about that, 6,000. A third of the kids in school are going to drop out, never finish. A lot of it is they're not dumb, they're bored. I suggest we launch weapons of mass instruction, and it's music and art programs. It's to touch the right brain as much as we're trying to touch the left brain. We have an education system that is so tilted to left brain focus that we have forgotten that every human being has to have the balance of left and right side, the creative side and the logical side.
Tell me about the quality of teachers and how you think that is a part of both the problem and the solution of education in America today.
You don't encourage the kind of quality and professionalism when you essentially treat teachers like factory workers in an assembly line. Teachers ought to be treated as professionals. They have professional degrees, they have professional preparation and background, and then we put them in a class, we say, okay, everybody gets the same pay. Everybody's going to get the same thing.
Does a science teacher get more than a gym teacher, say?
If the market is that it's harder to get a science teacher, frankly, gym teachers in some cases may have to get more, because if they help kids to be healthy, they're going to return a lot back to the economy. So a good gym teacher is worth it.
Okay, but what's your point about the quality of teachers and the incentive for teachers
and how we pay teachers? Teachers who teach better get paid more. And again,
how do we measure that?
You measure it by having a longitudinal system in which you see how well these students do along the line. You can't just do it by spot checking, because that'll never be an accurate reflection. That's a snapshot. You have to establish the chain of seeing how these students do in the first, the second, the third grade. Judge how are they improving or not improving. Then you share the consequences of that, not just with one individual teacher, but with all of those who make up the team of that particular school. A second thing you do is that you start teachers out of the pay that attracts the best people into teaching, and you don't lose them by the fifth year. We did some studies in Arkansas to find out why teachers left, because we had a lot of teachers that would get into this program and then they'd leave. And there were a couple of interesting factors. One of it was money, but you know why most teachers, by the way, left between the fourth and fifth year. And some of it was money. The other part was the lack of support that they felt from their colleagues, from their administration, and from the community. And from parents, from just a lack of support, a lack of appreciation and support. So there's a lot of factors that come into play. Money is one of them, but the other is, once again, upholding the teacher as that professional that we look up to.
Should we therefore have national standards for teachers?
If you get it wrong, you've got it wrong for all 50 states. When you have 50
if you get it right, you've got it right for all 50 states.
You never fully know. The best thing is to let states begin to set the standards that will give them the competition. See, the good thing about current testing methods, we know how well we're doing, not only against our own benchmarks, which is our state criteria, we also know how well we're doing against the national benchmarks by the NAEP testing. And so when we test in those two capacities, you have a good indication of, are you meeting your standards, but then how well am I doing against the standards of all the other states? So we really have the capacity for that without getting the federal government controlling every aspect of education.
So the issue is national or not for you? I mean, you're in favor of standards, you just don't want it to be national.
Yeah, I don't want it to be federal, is perhaps. In essence, you have some national standards because you have NAEP scores.
Right.
You have SAT, you have ACT. Those are all national, but you don't have the federal government saying, this is how you have to arrive to get to those standards.
No child